Hello and welcome to Exploited Crimes and Technology. My name is Opal Singleton and we come to you every Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock right here on AM 590, The Answer. Well, I so much appreciate this show and I appreciate you taking the time to listen to this show because it's 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon and you're probably just kicking back and wanting to do nothing, and I should spoil you, and we should do nothing together. But that isn't going to happen today, folks, okay? Because I've been working on a whole new project, and I am over the moon about it. I'm going to invite you to come along with me on this project. So before we get too deep into all of this, my name is Opal, and I am the president and CEO of an organization called Million Kids. millionkids.org. We started in 2008. We are centered out of Riverside. We actually go across the nation, but we've done a lot of work right here in the Inland Empire. And that is because we serve as the training and outreach coordinator for the Riverside County Anti-Human Trafficking Task Force. So we combat trafficking and we also combat social media exploitation. And there is a world of things going on in the world of online exploitation that we need to talk about. And I am excited to share with you about a new project that we're just getting started into it. And the deeper I get into it, the more excited I get. If you want to come alongside of us and maybe make a small donation or a larger donation if you want to, and help support this project, then we're going to open that opportunity up where we do a donation for a specific project. So first, let me get started on where I'm going with this. The world of online technology has changed dramatically in the last 2 to 3 years. In fact, our entire world has changed in the last 2 to 3 years. As we've come out of COVID and we went through that time where we were shut down, and in the last 2 to 3 years, we have experienced a technology transformation unlike ever before in all of history. And, you know, all of us roll up our sleeves, wade in, and learn the new technology. But there are times it just makes your head spin, and we're wondering where this is going. It's also exciting and terrifying because it is our kids who are leading the way in this technology transformation. You have all this talk about TikTok going on out there. And the way that the talk is going, it's all about the fact that that is a Chinese-owned company. Absolutely true. ByteDance owns it. And that our kids are on there by the millions, by the millions. I think it's the largest now in the world. And one of the reasons that it's large like that, a couple of reasons. One is that they make it fun for kids. And, they make it fun for all of us, every one of us. And Twitter is doing something very similar in that they now have all these videos and stuff that you see on there. Facebook is falling behind, but of course there's Instagram out there also. Although Instagram has been a lot more aggressive about taking off people they don't like their attitude. And you don't see that so much with TikTok because they want everybody on there, as it turns out. The reason they want everybody on there, all of those companies I mentioned, is all about getting your personal data. That's exactly how it all works this day and age. It's learning everything about you. That is the reason why they want to put the good driving app on your car, telling you you'll get a better rate if you drive better, except that they are gathering up all the data, regardless of the company that's doing it. They are gathering up all the data in your car, how many miles you go, where you stop to buy your gas, where you stop for your grocery store. Are you a safe driver or not such a safe driver? Are you spending more time out in front of a bar somewhere or a particular restaurant? Or are you maybe going off to a particular mall? All of that is about gathering data about you. Well, what is going on Capitol Hill with TikTok is that they're saying, wait a minute, they're gathering up all of our kids' data and they're about to be the next generation of adults. They're going to know more about all the people in the US than we do. Well, what they don't mention is that Facebook does the same thing over in the other countries to the other kids, and they're gathering it up. How else do they know when to take you off when they don't agree with what you're saying on their site? Same way with Instagram, same way with YouTube. All of these corporations act the same. So we've entered a whole new world. In the last 2 years, we've had, as I talk about a technology transformation, think about what has happened. Literally, it used to be I would go on Facebook and I have, I don't know, 45 followers and I know who they are for the most part. But when your kid goes on Fortnite or Discord or PUBG or TikTok or any of those dating sites, they're going to be talking to the entire world. What they say is going out to millions of people, and millions of people can reach back to your child. And literally, the FBI will tell you that there's more than 500,000 pedophiles online at any given time. And your child gets this information back from millions of people going, you're really hot, let's hook up. And so, how will we begin to teach our kids who's a good guy and who's a bad guy? On top of it, this thing is progressing like crazy because you often hear me talk about the fact that the entire world is now connected by internet. So the technology transformation we're experiencing is on several levels. For instance, your kids now literally are reaching out to millions of people, and millions of people reach back. And they can also see all the followers for your child, all the Instagram followers, if that's the app that they're on, if they're on TikTok, they can see all of that. This is real important as we get to the discussion we're about to have about talking with your child online about the various different dangerous scenarios that they can encounter. At the same time, last year, the entire world connected by internet. So it's 5G high-speed internet. And that's not just the US. I mean, that's true of Nigeria and Cambodia and, Ivory Coast and Pakistan and Bangladesh and places that we don't even think about that are now on the World Wide Web. And if they desire to, can access your child if they're on an app that's on the World Wide Web. And now we added to it that most of these apps have money transfer. Where am I going on this? Because we're starting to see blackmail of our kids online from all over the world. And we are starting to see a lot of our young kids get themselves in big, big trouble as they start to demand $3,500 to get a naked photo back, and the kid just panics and makes very poor decisions. And in some cases, they actually get into self-harm or take their own life. So we have to begin to set our kids down and create for them an idea of the environment that they're in. This isn't just kids, by the way. I read an article this last week about how the Mexican cartels are using their teenagers to literally blackmail elderly people in the US about timeshares. So many of our senior citizens got timeshares and they can't get back out of them. And so they put up these telemarketing centers all over Mexico, and they get those kids to trick our people into paying money to get out of a timeshare, and they will never be able to pay enough. And they're making millions by tricking our adults in this. This is all able to happen because we are all now connected to the World Wide Web. And that changes absolutely everything. If you begin to understand that you are now connected to criminal activity all over the world, how do we ever get it down to the fact that they will have to protect themselves from people they have never met, most likely will never meet, and they're going to want a whole lot of money or they're going to threaten to destroy their life. So we're up against the break, folks. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Are you tired of eating at the same old restaurants? Let me tell you about a fabulous Italian restaurant we found in Riverside, Mamma Mia's Italian Restaurant. Their caprese salad is exquisite with candied balsamic glaze. All of their sauces are special recipes using only the best olive oils. The salads are fresh and healthy. They offer a wonderful array of pastas, including shrimp scampi, capellini, bolognese, and lasagna. They're famous for their gourmet pizza, and you can order online for takeout or have a special date for dining in with family and friends. Mamma Mia's caters special occasions and hosts private events. You have to try it out. Mamma Mia's Italian Restaurant, located at 10971 Magnolia Avenue in Riverside, 1 block north of La Sierra on Magnolia. That's Mamma Mia's in Riverside. Be sure to tell Michael, Alex, or Joseph you heard it on AM 590 The Answer.
Hello, this is Opal Singleton of millionkids.org. I believe the 4 most powerful words on earth are I believe in you. So we created a challenge coin that says I believe in you on one side and stand tall, you are loved on the other side. This one-of-a-kind challenge coin is a perfect gift for birthdays, anniversaries, graduation, Christmas presents, or just an anytime gift for someone you love. What a powerful message for a parent or a grandparent to give to a young person. This 2-inch coin is made of polished gold. It's striking to look at, and it is priceless to hold. It is packaged in a beautiful black velvet gift box. What a great way to leave a legacy of love that will last forever. To purchase this coin, go to millionkids.org/gallery. Each coin is $25. Go to millionkids.org/gallery to purchase and give a legacy of love.
Real estate sales in the Inland Empire are really hot. Sean and Colleen at Caldwell Banker Armstrong Properties in Riverside are proud to sponsor this show. They are the best in the Inland Empire. They're fair, honest, creative, and they care about you and your situation. If you're in the market to buy or sell a home, call Sean and Colleen at 951-529-4066.
AM 590, The Answer.
Hello and welcome back. This is Opal Singleton, Exploited Crimes and Technology. And we're talking about technology transformation that is taking place, that is changing our lives. And this is leading you to a point of how do you prepare your child to live in that world? So think about all that happened. They now have access to millions of people, and millions of people can access them, as well as being able to see who their followers are. Most technology has money transfer that makes it easy to blackmail people, kids and adults, for money. And on top of it, we are now in such a way that people can gather a lot of information about us. And then you add to it artificial intelligence. And this is the very reason I'm so excited about the project that we're about to take on. Because what is already starting to happen is that all kinds of people, people that are predators, people that are pedophiles, and people who are cartel around the world that want to make money can now take anybody's photo online and alter it so that it looks like a nude or a sexy photo and begin to blackmail those people or create those photos so that it looks like what we call CSAM, formerly known as child pornography. And CSAM stands for child sexual abuse material. It is, in fact, those photos of minors that are in a sexual insinuation, if you will. And those are being sold in the dark web. So the world has become absolutely complicated. So to me, it's more and more important that a parent and a young person have an agreement between them before they ever get too deep into technology. And that agreement would say that mom and dad will have every app that the young person has. And that young person will teach mom and dad how to use that app. because that's one of the problems right now. Our kids are sitting ducks. The parents go, oh, this is way too complicated. I'm just going to trust them. And that isn't going to work out for you. And you're going to agree that you're going to be able to have conversation. You're going to look at the phone and understand, and the device, the iPad, and like that, and understand who they're talking to, and that they will never, ever send a photo or receive a photo that they don't tell you about that is sexual in nature, because this is a lifetime sentence at this point once that happens, because people can blackmail you. And that if they do get themselves in trouble, they will trust you enough in your digital partnership to be able to come to you and talk to you. So what is this project that we're taking on? Well, me and kids, and it isn't just me, okay, there's a bunch more of us. We're in the process of creating a significant number of very short videos. And we think it'll be between 30 and 50. And they're very short, 2 to 3 minutes, because kids especially are used to TikTok, which are 30 seconds. They're used to short-term kind of communication. And what we're going to do is answer specific questions, and we're going to distribute this all over the world everywhere we can, not just keep it on the Million Kids sites, but we're going to be talking about things like, somebody just sent me a nude. What do I do? I've sent a nude and now they want money, or I've sent a nude and they now want more photos, and I'm scared to go to school. What should I do? I'm talking to someone and they're trying to blackmail me. What do I do? And we're going to have short questions with very specific answers. And so if you want to contribute to this situation and help us create all of these videos, then it's certainly all you have to do is go to millionkids.org/donate. So I want to take this off in a different direction as I talk to you, because one of the things I want to talk about is you talking to your child about different dangerous situations. And I'm wondering how comfortable you are with it. Our kids want a phone and we set them down and say, you be careful on that thing and don't be doing this and don't be doing that. And we just have to trust a lot because we don't know what they're doing. But that isn't going to work anymore with this complex world, because literally at any given time, there are 500,000 pedophiles online at any given time, and they can change your child's life. So let's talk about one of these. Let's suppose that you find out that your child has been sent a nude image from someone they don't even know. Would your child come and talk to you about it? Or what happens if you discover it and they haven't talked to you about it? What kind of conversation are you prepared for? I would like to believe that the young person would come and talk to you about it, but all too often they don't. So how often does this really happen? Well, one of the real authorities in the business that I'm in is Thorn, Thorn. That used to be Ashton Kutcher's place, but he has resigned there. But what they're saying, they are known for the research related to technology. And they're saying kids today just grow up in a social setting that is connected to devices. And so the idea of sexting is like digital flirting to them. And so it's not uncommon for any of them to send a sexually explicit message in there. Sometimes it includes nude messages or nude images, and that has become a bigger part of the relationship in the digital age. So we're starting to come up on the end of this break, but I want to give you a couple of facts here. They say literally in 2022, 1/3 of minors under the age of 18 reported that they had engaged in some sort of sexual interaction online. Not surprising, they're teenagers, and that is how they communicate. 1/3. But is that your child? Are you aware of it? And have they handled that right? 1 in 5 said that they had been asked to send a nude image. 1 in 5, okay? And these are teenagers. 1 in 4 said that they had received a sexual message. 25% of children ages 9 to 17. Now, I don't like that age group because it includes prepubescent. And I think we ought to be breaking that out differently because they are different human beings at that point. But they're saying 25% of kids, 9 to 17, said it was common for their peers to share nude photos. When we're looking specifically at teenagers, that went up to 32%. Reported it as common for their peers to engage in nude sharing behavior. 1 in 7 minors admitted to having shared their own self-generated CSAM. That would be a sexual image of themselves. So 1 in 7 admitted that they had done some sort of sexual imaging and recorded it and shared it. So percentage of minors who have shared their own self-generated imaging, ages 9 to 12, 6%. Ages 13 to 17, about 20%. So what I'm telling you is that we're working with a generation of kids that don't see it as a problem until it becomes a problem. And it is at that point we need to prepare adults to be able to interact and deal with this kind of thing. I honestly believe it is that before they ever really get the device and after they've gotten the device, you have ongoing conversations with this. So 1 in 5 had shared some type of sexual interaction online that they believe with someone they believe to be over the age of 18. That ought to scare the socks off of you. It scares socks off of me, I'll tell you that. 1 in 3 of the minors have shared their own nudes, reported have done so with someone they believe to be an adult. Does that make you vulnerable or what? This is really an interesting study. I trust Thorne, quite frankly. They are legitimate. They do a lot of research and a lot of interviewing. And where I want to go with here is that we have to change the dialogue with the teenager and between the teenager and the parent. We have to kind of get our head out of the sand and admit that this is happening. But to some of these people that it's happening to, this can end up very, very badly in a way that will change their life forever. My name is Opal Singleton. The organization is Million Kids. We are dedicated to keeping kids safe from predators. We appreciate your help, your support, your prayers. We're located right here in Riverside. So with that, look us up at millionkids.org. It's break time, so we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to be right back about how to talk to your child about dangerous situations online. Be right back.
Societal Shift, A World Without Borders and a Home Without Walls. This is the most important book you will read this year, especially if you have children or grandchildren. We are living at the most important time in all of history. In 2020, the entire world will be connected by internet, more than 6 billion people coming together. Technology will provide many great advantages for our kids, but a world without borders for our kids is also a world without borders for pimps, predators, pedophiles, cartels, and organized crime. It is a home without walls because 87% of the kids sleep with their phone. It is the greatest societal experiment of all time. Our kids are technology geniuses, and their parents are technophobic. Some are techno-impotent. New apps come with no warnings on how a predator will use them against our kids. Advancing technologies like encrypted messaging, vaporware, artificial intelligence, cryptocurrency, and the dark net will challenge law enforcement, teachers, and parents to keep kids safe. Recent research states that 9,000 kids a day are being blackmailed with a naked photo, and 58% will meet their predator. It is indeed a societal shift, and one in which most parents are unprepared. If you are a parent or grandparent, teacher, counselor, or social worker, please take time to read Societal Shift. Only $18.99 plus $6 shipping. Order today at millionkids.org. That's millionkids, millionkids.org. It'll be the greatest gift you can give your family and yourself. Order Societal Shift today.
Million Kids takes checks and credit cards. Opal Singleton, the author, will personally sign the book and send it to you. Again, go to millionkids.org and order Societal Shift today. Join Million Kids. Keep our kids safe from predators.
Hello and welcome back to Exploited Crimes and Technology. This is Opal Singleton, and we are talking about talking to your child about different dangerous scenarios online. This is so important because of artificial intelligence coming on, where anybody, you too, can become a victim of having an altered image out there where somebody wants to blackmail you. I think to myself, the number of images I have online, good grief, I've been doing this 15 years. I hope they pick the youngest ones and they're skinny, okay? But we're all going to be a victim of this, and we need to start talking to our children about it. And you add that into the fact that we now have overseas telemarketing companies in third world countries that can also do the same thing and start to blackmail us. It is time to have that open conversation with our children, way past the idea of you be careful on that thing now. So I just gave you some facts from a research project that 1 in 5 kids have been asked to send a nude image, and 1 in 4 have received a nude image. So what kind of conversation would you have with your child about that? And in fact, the first thing I'd ask you is, ask your child, have they ever been sent a nude image? If they received one, would they come and tell you? Would they understand the danger of what that means? Or would they just all laugh and say, hey, I think I know who that is? You see, they may not send the nude image of your child. They may send a nude image of someone your child knows and somebody from school, and they all laughed. So this is really important, that you have open conversation with your kids. You know, if your child was sent a nude image online, what would they do? Would they just take it and keep quiet? Would they talk with you about it? Depends on where it goes and how that happens. Who's it coming from? And then, have they ever sent a nude image? And that's an interesting conversation to think about, because this generation, as you can tell, 1 in 5 said they'd already had a sexual encounter with someone they believed to be over 18, and they maybe haven't discussed that. And so you need to open up these conversations past the judgmental kind of thing. This is going to be inevitable in the future. So talk about it with your child. What do you think you should do if you get a nude image? Or what happens if you sent a nude image and someone now is starting to blackmail you? Maybe they want more photos, or maybe they want money. How much money do you think you would have to send them before they would stop blackmailing you? The other question is, where do those naked photos go when you hit send, and why do they want them? And the answer to that is, it depends on who you're dealing with. And this is the reason why we have to really educate our kids about who is behind all of this kind of exploitation. One of the things that, if you don't know, if you haven't seen it, we created, I didn't create it, I funded part of it as the co-executive producer for a movie called Sextortion, The Hidden Pandemic. And it is on Amazon, iTunes, and Apple TV. I recommend every family see that so they understand what is going on. Sextortion, The Hidden Pandemic. So there are various kinds of reasons and people out there that want to blackmail or harm us in some ways. Some of them want to just meet up with your child, and that needs to be a discussion long before anybody ever gets a device in your family, that they will never, ever, ever go out and meet up with someone they met online. And by the way, that's true of adults too. I know you all meet on dating sites, and I know some wonderful people who met on dating sites, but I also know some people who met on dating sites that get blackmailed, or they get harmed, or they start to have to put out a lot of money. and it's not pretty. So one of the questions there is, who is this that you're dealing with? And what are they looking for? If somebody's asking you to send a nude, who is it really? And where is that going to go? And how are you going to get it back once you've sent it? Because you don't really know what that person looks like on the other line. Many of these people now with artificial intelligence are taking photographs and videos right out of YouTube, and they make it look like they're completely somebody else. By the way, this happens on dating sites for old people too. And they are in love with someone who does not exist and start sending money. This is really, really important to start to ask your kids to think about, have you ever met the person you're talking to? How do you know they look like they say they do? Are they blackmailing other people? If they're starting to send you images, what do you think they're going to want back? And what is going to happen to that image once you sent it? You see, it depends on the kind of predator you're dealing with. If it turns out to be one of those Nigerian telemarketing companies, they're going to want money, and a lot of it. You will not be able to give them enough money to stop them. And that's one of the conversations you should have with your child. If you get online and somehow you find yourself in trouble and that you've made some sort of mistake, or maybe you haven't done anything at all, somebody has altered a photo of you and they start asking for money, you need an agreement between you that they will come and tell you right away so that you can report it, because you need to make it clear they will never have enough money to get these people to stop blackmailing you. You most likely are working with an overseas telemarketing company. But you could also be working with a group of predators that just think it's fun to destroy young people's lives. And sometimes they all work together. Some of them want more photos. One of the things I would ask your children in talking with them is, have you ever thought about where photos go when you hit send? I mean, in your mind, it's going to go to this one person who thinks you're hot, that's going to protect you, and that they're never going to share that with anybody. But what if that goes wrong? How do you get that back? And the real reality is, if they want photos, they probably want more photos, and they will keep asking for photos because you will never give them enough photos. Many of these photos are sent to pedophiles that are part of dark web rings. One of the rings they found a couple of years ago was Welcome to Video, had 1 million paid subscribers, 1 million using Bitcoin. Yes, all these apps have some sort of money transfer on them now. And 1 million people, if your child connects with one of the people that is one of those rings, their photo can be sent to over 1 million people in less than 1 hour. And that they will never be able to get it back. They might be able to get 2 back, maybe 5, probably not. And so their life, the minute a photo goes online, your life has changed forever, because you have no way to get it back. Now, there are new programs out. One of them is called Take It Down, that's out by National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, but it has a whole lot of limitations. You have to have the original photo, and they basically send a bot out to try to find where it is. But quite frankly, if it has been traded and retraded, you're never going to get them all down. That is the nature of living in a technology transformation that covers the entire World Wide Web. So it's important that you know the questions to ask, and that you know how to handle the answers to these kinds of questions there. If your child gets himself in a situation where they're being blackmailed for money, talk about that today. Because so many of these kids, and by the way, the kids that are falling for this are some of our very brightest and best students. Good looking, popular sports stars, homecoming kings. and it's mostly males that are 14 to 17. And the parent says, I quit checking their phone. He's 16, he's 17 years old, he's 6'2", he looks like a man to me, and I just trusted him. And the next thing you know, he's made a major, major mistake that he doesn't know how to tell you about. You need this conversation that no matter what, to recognize that once they're in the pit, they need to ask questions, and they need to be able to come to you, and you need to be able to be a strong friend and advocate and help them through it. This is a life-changing event. My name is Opal Singleton with millionkids.org. We're talking about how to help your kids in dangerous situations online. It is break time. Be right back. Hello, this is Opal Singleton of Exploited, Crimes and Technology. I want to tell you about a book I wrote called Seduced, The Grooming of America's Teenagers. It's all about how predators access, groom, recruit, and exploit our young people using social media, online gaming, video chat rooms. Technology is changing at the speed of light, and we have to understand how to keep our kids safe from predators. So you can get this book by going to www.millionkids.org. It's $16. I'll sign it and I'll ship it to you personally. We hope that you will order this book, educate yourself about how to keep our kids safe in this day of changing technology. Join us each Saturday for our radio show at Exploited, Crimes and Technology at 3 o'clock on AM 590, The Answer.
Custom Service Systems, a proud supporter of Million Kids, is a family-owned and operated commercial cleaning company servicing the Inland Empire and surrounding areas since 1974. CSS takes pride in their ability to maintain the business facilities they serve and their long-lasting relationships with their valued clients. CSS provides a variety of cleaning systems customized to client needs, including deep cleaning and disinfectant to be COVID-19 compliant. From basic office cleaning to windows and floors, CSS will clean up your mess so you don't have to stress. Custom Service Systems cares about families and communities and wants to give back. Custom Service Systems are proud supporters of Million Kids to keep kids safe from predators. If you need the best cleaning services for your business or corporation, contact Custom Service Systems at cssclean.com. Again, cssclean.com, or call 951-781-9345. That's 951-781-9345. You will know you found the best. Custom Service Systems.
Hello, this is Opal Singleton of Exploited Crimes and Technology. Let me tell you about my friend Doris Anderson at Remax Realty in Upland. She is amazing. She's kind, she's patient, but she listens. And she's informed, and she will help you with your real estate transaction in a way that works for you. Doris, in full disclosure, often supports the work of Million Kids because she cares about young people. But she knows how to analyze a market, how to market a property, and how to find just the right transaction for both buyers and sellers. If you're looking to buy or sell real estate or invest in income property, contact Doris Anderson at Remax Realty, 951-733-8899. That's 951-733-8899. 951-733-8899.
AM 590. The Answer.
Hello and welcome back to Exploited Crimes and Technology. This is Opal Singleton, and I'm just sharing with you about a new project that we're about to go on. And if you want to help us financially, even if it's a small amount, it will help. I think we need to raise, we're now looking at a budget of probably $7,000 to $8,000 total. And but we have many donors, and most of our donors are people who have followed us for a long, long time, know that we're accountable, know that we spend our money wisely. And I want this project to be done right, and be done in a way that it can cover the world. I want to make a series between 30 and 50 2 to 3 minute videos, and they will be by different people. They won't all be me. In fact, most of them probably won't be me. with, professional stuff done. And it's all about answering specific questions because what we're seeing is an absolute pandemic. And I mean that seriously of young people, especially very bright, very accomplished young people in these cases where many of these kids panic, what they are caught up in is overseas telemarketing companies. The same as we talked about earlier that are taking place with timeshares out of Mexico with the cartel. This is happening out of Pakistan, Nigeria, Ivory Coast, out of the Philippines. They will use their young kids to go online with technology to look like a 14-year-old girl. And they will be hot and they will engage especially a young boy. Can be a young girl, but usually it's the young boys. And these guys are just so vulnerable because, as we were saying, at least 20% of the kids out there surveyed in the Thorn survey, 1 out of 5 said that they have actually shared online a self-generated CSAM. That's meaning sexual images of someone under the age of 18. So we should have the discussion, not like wagging your finger, but by saying, the more I learn about technology, the more terrifying it is and the more exciting. As a young person, you will have more opportunity than any generation before you. You will have access to more information than any generation before you. You will have access to more people, and more people will have access to you. So how do I teach you, and how do you share with me that we have a partnership to do this safely, and equally important, make you a leader for your younger brothers and sisters or younger cousins that are out there that are watching you as an example? Number one, you need to understand why somebody wants your naked photo and all the different scenarios, because the person you're flirting with, which you think is this hot 14-year-old, could very well be a 32-year-old guy in Nigeria. And the minute they get that image, your life has changed. And we need to talk about it. Is this somebody? How do you know who you're really talking to? And think about what's about to happen when you send that nude image. Number one, in the future, you won't even have to send a nude image. They may just start blackmailing you because they've taken an image offline and altered it. But let's say that you've sent it. Have you ever thought about who that is that's really getting it, and how do you plan to get it back? And if they start blackmailing you, how do you plan to handle it? Because you won't have enough money. I know of cases where the guy has come up with $8,000 and they're still pounding, threatening to destroy him. At the very least, we need a conversation that if you get yourself in this mess, that you will trust me enough that we can walk through it together. Okay, it's going to be messy. I get it. I'm not crazy about the whole world seeing your nude body. You're my son, you're my daughter, and I'm proud of you. But if you get there, you're not alone, okay? But think about it before you get there. Where is that nude going to go? And how do you plan to get it back? Are you going to pay money? What if they don't want to give it back? What if it goes all over the world? One of the things I think is so important to drill into our kids' heads, that if they want your nude photo, they are not your friend. It's that easy. The way you can tell you're talking to a bad guy online, because you can't tell, they all look like hot, sexy 14-year-olds. But here's 3 hints that you can share with your kids, mom and dad. Number one, they will change apps on you. If you're on a dating site, they'll say, let's talk offline. If you're on TikTok, they go, hey, meet me on Instagram, get me more photos. I'm going to make you famous. I'm an agent. But they've moved you from TikTok to Instagram. They have done that because they're trying to determine that you're not an undercover officer. Then the next thing they're trying to do is to see if you're willing to follow you. So they will move you. Then they'll say, this is our little secret. Those two together ought to just send a blazing signs in your head that you're talking to somebody bad. I don't know if it's a dark web ring. I don't know if it's some pedophile who wants to come in and rape you and get you to get in the car with them, or if it's somebody from Nigeria. But if they move you from one app to the other or off a dating site and they say, don't tell, and then they start showing you photos, run, baby, run. That's a home run of negativity right there, of being able to tell that your life is about to change if you cooperate. So these kinds of conversations are very, very important. And I hope that some of you will consider coming alongside of us to fund this project. With artificial intelligence, every one of us is going to have to learn this, because every one of us could be a problem and in trouble, including myself. It hasn't happened yet, but I have a lot of photos out there that could be altered. And I bet some of you also, we don't think anything about it when we post a photo, but every one of those is an opportunity to have that image altered and for the blackmail to begin. We need to start having that dialogue now. I want to make a series of about 30 to 50 very short-term videos that answer questions. What do? I just received a nude. I've sent a nude and now I'm in trouble. I've sent a nude and they want to blackmail me. Somebody wants to meet up. What do I do? And we're going to create these 2 to 3 minute videos. They're going to be all over the place. Anybody can use them and have them. We're not going to keep them for me and kids, but I do need to do a little bit of fundraising to pay for all the background with it. If you're interested in supporting this project, go to millionkids.org/donate, and you might just put videos on it. That'll be all I need. I know what it's going to go for. millionkids.org, not .com, .org. millionkids.org/donate, and you can just mark it for the videos. I hope this has been helpful. I am fired up. I know you can tell that. There are times this whole world gets so darn crazy. I think, what am I doing and how long can I keep this up? But I think that we're onto something here. Kids need answers, and so do parents. And by the way, some of these short-term videos will be for parents. My kid ran away. What do I do? My kid just came to me and said he has a nude online. What do I do? Here's what you don't do. Don't go online and tell that pedophile, leave your kid alone. Just stay away and report it, okay? But screenshot the evidence and do not show those photos to everybody. That's your kid's personal life, and he or she has a right to dignity. So my name is Opal Singleton. The organization is Million Kids. We live and breathe to keep kids safe from predators. We've trained about 700,000 people, and we serve right here in Riverside County with the Riverside County Sheriff Department supporting their human trafficking task force. But my passion, the reason I get up in the morning is to be able to prepare this next generation to live in a world without borders and a home without walls so that they can lead all future generations. How we teach our kids to live in this high-tech world that is a global world is important because it will set the stage for all future generations. We have never been here before. None of us, not mom and dad, not the kids, none of us. We're writing the book as it goes along as we see people getting violated. But every time I see a case of somebody being violated from behavior online, I say, we can stop this. This is not all that hard. We need to educate against it. And that's what this video project is all about. So thank you all for each and every one of you that follow this show. I've been on the air now well over 7 years. Hard to believe. I so much appreciate AM 590 for the opportunity to reach you guys. They're just the best in the world, and I appreciate it a whole lot. So I'd ask you to think about it and follow us at millionkids.org. And I appreciate it if you can support our work. We'll see you next Saturday at 3 o'clock on AM 590, The Answer. Have a good week, folks.
This message is all about Million Kids, the organization that helps locate missing kids throughout Southern California and educates to keep kids safe from predators. Million Kids educates school administrators, teachers, parents, and teenagers how predators identify a potential victim and the methods they use to recruit innocent kids.
BMW of Riverside is a proud supporter of Million Kids. Visit BMW of Riverside at the Adams Street exit off the 91 freeway or click bmwofriverside.com.